Hey, folks, and welcome to another episode of Chasing Spirits Paranormal. I am your host, Henry, along with Paige.
Hi, Henry. Hi, Paige.
Hi, Jeff.
Jeff, get over that seat. We're rearranging, folks, so just bear with us. All right. Oh, you're beautiful. Don't worry. You're always beautiful.
That's my makeup good.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, I'm going to switch drinks with you.
Paige, talk to us about tonight's cocktail.
We're calling it ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm.
Basically, what it is an orange Kool-Aid. Hold it up, Jeffrey. It's supposed to glow in the dark.
It doesn't.
But it doesn't. And I just threw in some vodka and peach schnapps.
How come it disappears in front of my face?
Because it's from your face. Yeah, just quit playing. Okay. It's a novelty thing I picked up at Michael's during Halloween. It's supposed to be one of the Halloween party glow in the dark things. And it doesn't exactly glow in the dark stuff. I'm just going to drink it.
But it is fun to drink.
It
It's
does
good.
taste good.
There's nothing, you can't go wrong with orange Kool-Aid. Well, tonight, folks, we'll talk about something that we came up with over the weekend. Dreams, and trying to interpret certain dreams, and what do they really mean?
It might be good.
That and dreams of night terrors, like the like I was listening to a whole bunch of stuff about the old hag, and apparently the old hag is, it's been for centuries, and especially in Slovakia and Russia, they have a name for her. It's called Baba something.
Baba.
Not Baba Booey.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. Yes. And so it's just one of those things where you're asleep and you can feel the Baba Yaga like in your room. And the first thing that I wanted to mention is that there's a difference between nightmares and night terrors. Now, the nightmares are when your brain's asleep and you're asleep, obviously. But now, the other things is like when you're asleep, but your mind is still awake. So that kind of.
Okay, you're not telling me the difference between nightmare and night terror. That's like you're both times you're asleep. Okay.
No, but one is that your mind is asleep, but the other one is your mind is awake. That's where the night terrors come, because you'll be laying there in bed and something like the Baba Yaga will come on, and it'll like hover over you and feel like you need to get up but you can't, and that's because your mind is still awake, but your body won't. Your body's just laying there, just.
So your body's like in a dream paralysis.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, now dig this. I had the American version of that hag come and visit me a while back.
It wasn't me.
I think Nikki would have freaked out. But what happened is I was asleep, but this horrible, scary old woman wearing a long skirt. This skirt.
Whatever.
Anyway, she looked down at me, and then she sat on the bed. And I woke up screaming, and then my eyes opened and she was gone. That freaked me out.
Like you visited by the hag.
Now, what exactly is that supposed to mean if I get visited by the hag?
Well,
That's a good
question.
Because most people don't know why it's visiting them. I mean, there's one theory that I heard was that when you were a child and you had some kind of trauma,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when you were asleep or whatnot, and it comes to visit you, it re comes to visit you, whatever that that bad whole scene was that was with you and your traumatic experience of whatever it was. Because I mean, I guess it could be like you were abused, or you just had something really dark happen to you in your life, like a death also. Because I remember.
Have you ever gotten visited by the hag?
I have not.
No, but I had this one dream once where I was asleep. It was like a dream inside of a dream. So I was laying in my bed, and for some reason I couldn't get up. And I knew I couldn't get up, but I was like, for some reason, just laying there in my dream, wanting to get up. And I knew it was a dream too. So, I mean, it just took me a whole bunch of wiggling around and everything till I finally woke myself up. Because for some reason in my dream I couldn't wake up. But I was laying there in my bed, just like paralyzed by something. It wouldn't let me wake up. But eventually I did wake up, so that was kind of weird. And that's mild compared to a lot of
Other people's experiences.
yeah, because you got a lot of people have the old hag, they have the shadow people also.
I've never had a shadow people.
Yeah. Like you're laying there and there's like maybe in the corner of your room, you feel like somebody's watching you, and it just sits there and stares at you. Maybe it doesn't go after you, but it does make you really scared out of your mind.
It's eerie.
Yeah. I mean, if I was laying in my bed and I saw something in the corner of the room and it was, just like the shadow, much less the old hag, I guess her claim to fame is that you'll be asleep and then she'll be on top of you.
That sounds like a succubus.
Well, yeah, I mean that's another way to describe what the old hag is. Except the old hag always looks the same, kind of like a witch, obviously with the the old bad posture, long nose, and just a really messed
Ugly.
up face. Yeah,
Ugly old woman's what a hag is.
yeah. And,
Yeah, that describes what I saw.
yeah.
So calling a woman a hag is an insult.
Well, it makes sense.
All right. What you were telling me the other time is it's cool to be called a crone, but not a hag.
Right. A hag is a crone. I'm in the crone stage of life. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a crone.
Congratulations.
Well, you want to tell us what the differences between a crone and a hag is then?
A hag is usually malevolent. Mean, old, ugly woman. Crone, just older and wiser.
Okay. And also, I found out that while the hags are well known around the world, I heard that back during the Salem witch trials, a lot of people had dreams of the hag. So, since they were so freaked out about it, and at the time there was, persecution of so-called witches, that it almost seems like they were taking it out on these innocent women that were they said were witches, but they really weren't.
No, those Salem, that was a time of mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Do you think, like mass hysteria, could that bring on the crone? I mean, the hag?
Maybe.
I guess it depends on how much you believe in it.
Interesting.
And also, I also found out that if you're a child, and I think this is where somebody mentioned that you when you go to sleep and your parents make you say a prayer before bed. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Well, that is supposed to keep away, things like that, the hag or bad dreams or anything like that. So,
Huh.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So saying your prayers before you go to sleep
Is always good.
is always good. Keeps away the hags or whatever in the room. And you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Keeps away the bad dreams. So, yeah, that is not okay. So, dreams. What about dreams is interesting?
Well, I got two.
Okay, tell us, Henry. You always got good stories.
Well, the first one,
Gather around the fire, kids.
sit down, kids, and pull out your cocktails. And
This is a story time with Uncle Henry.
that's right.
So we're going to rename this Story Time with Uncle Henry.
Um,
Well, anyway, go ahead.
the first one I'm going to talk about is something that I've had many, 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 many years. And it's war related. But I still to this day have the same nightmare. You see, I was part of that terrorist bombing over in Lebanon back in 1983. I was 18 years old. I was in the Marine Corps. I know. Yes, I was.
Didn't that girl?
Anyway, what happened is that right after the bombing, 248 Marines established. So, the one thing is they were pulling the bodies out of with the rubble of what was left of the battalion headquarters. What happened was the Hezbollah decided that they were going to drive a truck right through the lobby, load it down with about 1,500 pounds worth of TNT. That was the largest non-nuclear blast since World War II.
Wow.
Anyway.
By judging that building that it got blowed up,
He got blown
not
up.
surprised.
Anyway. So we were pulled off our sections and we all went up there to do body count and then the rescue. And it was just so bizarre. I mean, there was smoke everywhere. And it was just like that plume was there. And you drive into it. And there's fire on the side of the roads. We all had different assignments. And part of mine was zipping up body parts and matching up arms and legs and torsos. And making sure I had at least 2 arms, 2 legs, and a torso, and a head in each body bag.
A complete body.
A complete body. And, well, what happened was at night, they've been shipping the bodies out, and it takes time. Of course, the more they pull out, the more bodies, and so we had a makeshift morgue.
Yeah.
And it was basically nothing but more than they set up a tent. It was like a GP medium, and the bodies were stacked like cordwood almost.
Dang.
Anyway, in my dream, I go inside the tent, and the bodies were not in the bags. They were stretched out.
Okay.
And there was one, it was another Marine, just as young as I was. And he sits up, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Why?"
Why was I killed?
Yeah. And that has been haunting me for the last 35 years of my life. So with that said,
did he come to visit you in your dreams since that?
Yeah. I had one Not maybe a couple of months ago. And now I usually incorporate it where if that happens, it's mixed with something that's going to be happening to me.
Kind of like an omen.
Yeah, it could be. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. Most of the times, whenever I get the dream and there's that omen comes, something bad's going to happen.
So
But-
you're having prophetic dreams in a way.
Exactly. And I had to live with this. And I did not really understand anything about night terrors until I started going to therapy over at the VA. I mean, I did not sleep well for many, many years.
Hmm.
And the only times I could really sleep well is if I tired myself out. So, to tell you the truth, guys, alcohol and drugs was like a major part of my life.
So you were self-medicating.
Oh yeah, I was self-medicated. We couldn't go to therapy. We couldn't do anything. Because if you got labeled, you were crazy,
Uh-huh.
your discharge was, you were processed out and you had a crazy discharge.
And then nowadays, with some states that have the red flag law, where if you've been into, kind of treatment for something
Mm-hmm.
something crazy like that, then you could get your Second Amendment's right taken away from you.
Yeah.
Second Amendment, for anybody that doesn't know, that's outside the U.S., that's the guarantee of you owning a firearm, pretty much.
The right to your arms.
Mm-hmm. And nowadays, if they find that, well, I mean, you got to look at the people that shoot up schools. They're obviously
Messed up.
Yeah, they've had some issues. So
It's just all right. With that said, I mean, guys, I'm sharing something with the entire world now.
I know. You've been doing this for the past, 4 years now? Sharing your innermost secrets.
Innermost secrets.
This is your therapy.
welcome
Okay.
welcome to the inside of Henry's brain.
Then I got to tell you guys something else. When I'm home alone, I like to wear men's underwear.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I don't see you
Because
fitting
I
in your
can't.
wives.
Yeah, I can't see you fitting in a G-string.
I don't think you fit Nikki's underwear.
I'd go to like Target or Penny's and buy a bag.
Better go to Omar the Tent Maker for yours.
And then I'd have to go home. I could wear them under my clothes.
Feel like a real girl.
I feel pretty one way or another.
It's time I wear my. You'd be surprised how uncomfortable women's underwear probably is. I'm baby.
I guess. I mean, I don't see how, with a G-string, with what's so small in it, it's got to creep up your butt.
Well, you feel that strap, the strap between your butt cheeks. Yeah, you can feel it, but after a while, you don't feel it anymore.
I'll tell you the truth. I'd be a bitch if you got to pay. I mean,
Just pull them down, go. Why is it be a?
Or for a man, just pull them down, pull your pants down, and just pull it to the side and let your.
no.
Pull them down.
What?
Wait a minute. How do we get off track?
Welcome to the rabbit holes.
Now talk about you mentioned underwear. Now, but you mentioned underwear, Henry. You
Yes,
mentioned underwear, and then just kind of went. So
That's what happens. The train went off the track for a little bit.
He dreams about underwear.
I do not.
So anyway.
Anyway.
Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna get another story about dreams, Henry Riley.
You know my middle name?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God! Oh, that's right. You probably heard Nikki yell
That's what you told me.
at. Oh,
What's your middle name?
Riley,
Yes,
Oh,
Nicole
Riley.
Marie, right?
Henry Riley, and Brian Christopher.
Is Nicole Marie?
But
Nikki.
yes, no, Nicole Marie.
Yes, I found that one out.
And then the funny part about that is I'm named after my grandfather and a cow.
Collie. I like the collie.
The dog?
Yes, my grandfather, Tom Riley.
Henry was the dog?
No, Thomas Riley. So
Oh.
they wanted Riley to be continued on.
Oh.
So I became Henry Riley. And then my aunt, who's my mom's sister, named their dog Riley. And we were around it. We were there at the same time. So I refer to myself as, yes, a collie and my grandfather.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Mm-hmm. That always helped with my self-esteem.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, collies are cute dogs.
Yeah.
Thomas got collie in her. I mean, you know. And she's pretty.
Yes, she is.
She's a goofball. But yeah. Well,
But the other dream that I want to talk to you guys about is I was talking to a friend of mine up in New York. His name is Joe. We both, you heard his stories before. He was on here. He talked about the
Yeah.
Amityville Horror House.
Yeah, I had to bite my tongue during that podcast. That's okay.
Why?
Go ahead, continue.
Joe is a very religious guy. And he was telling me that he's very Catholic. And he was saying that in this dream one night he had in his house, him and his wife Josephine were lying in bed together. And he goes, all of a sudden he heard, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph.
Uh-oh, somebody's calling him.
So in his dream, he got up. And then he finds out that he looks down the hallway. And there's a well-dressed man standing there. Can't see the face.
Mm.
And he's like, follow me.
Uh-oh.
I have something for you.
Uh-oh.
And he went to the door and he looked in and he saw all these women and all these cars.
Women in cars. Good-looking women.
Huh?
Good-looking women. Good-looking cars.
Yeah.
Of course.
oh.
Anyway, so he goes, I don't want any of this. He's like, you have to come. And then they said they grabbed his arm and they were trying to pull him in. And then he said that the face on the man was just so horrific.
Okay.
Like, was it burnt up, or is it just like he
Demonic.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, this is for you. And the cars, the women, the money.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Please leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talked about how he was getting pulled in there, and then all of a sudden he screamed out, blood of Christ, blood of Christ, blood of Christ, come and protect me.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes, there was this blinding light that cleared everything out. And after that, he said that when he woke up the next morning, there were scratches on his arms.
Ew.
Dang.
And he said his eyes were bloodshot.
Ew.
And he couldn't adjust his eyes at all for a while.
Huh. Interesting.
So he believes that he talked to his parish priest, and he goes, it's probably Satan. Because he brings people back into the church. And the devil doesn't want that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, with that said,
So Joe had a dream that where the devil was tempting him.
he was tempting him. And then the parish priest said that's very common among people that are actually trying to do the right thing. And so, yeah. And I mean, I have no reason to doubt that man at all.
Right.
He's probably one of the more forthright people I ever know. He was truthful ever since we were boys.
Right.
I, on the other hand, was a pathological liar.
Ain't no way to get through life, boy.
No, I was young. I was
Weren't we all?
At that point in our lives at one time, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Say that.
Had some things that weren't.
Yeah, there's.
Okay. We all.
So when he woke up, and then he goes, his wife actually rolled him over, and he finally woke up and goes, his sight finally came in where he could see, because the first thing he saw was his nightstand.
Okay.
And he's just like, after the light faded out. But he goes, that was the brightest light he's ever seen.
Oh, that's probably what caused his eyes to go red and in his sight.
And he actually said that he had to stay home for a couple of hours from work just to get his eyesight back.
Yep, that could happen. I can see that.
And I got his permission to use his story.
Oh, that's
nice
cool
of
of him.
That's nice. Like, yeah, because we don't want to use people's stuff without their permission.
No.
Yeah, I think everyone's had some kind of dream story. You know, in one way or another. Even if it's a nightmare or a reoccurring nightmare or, you know, something about the hag or the shadow people.
I never had a shadow people dream. If I have, I don't remember it. But I used to have night terrors where I'd get up and I wouldn't sleepwalk, I would sleep one.
Ah, that bad. Run away from something.
Yeah.
You might not, you physically run?
Yeah.
Out of your room or something?
I'd get out,
And you don't run into a wall?
No, it actually started when I was in the service.
Mm.
And so that's when they were going to process me for a discharge because I started sleepwalking, which means
I say.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, you know, Henry, I've known you long enough. I can say that.
Yes. Folks, I'm a little off. All right, a lot off. Oh!
All I did was tickle the back of his neck.
After talking all that. Shoot.
He's easily scared.
I am. But the worst of it is that it happens so much. Now, the other dream that I do have frequently, or I used to have, was when I was retiring from the military. I guess I didn't want to say goodbye to the Army. I loved it. And I think it was time for me to say goodbye. I was standing in the formation, and it was a foggy day. And we were in our BDUs and our berets. And
The raspberry beret?
no.
Common find in a secondhand store?
No. These were the Sincheki specials, the black ones.
Mm.
But they wanted to make us all feel special. So with that, I'm standing there and I'm watching the formation. And all of a sudden, the formation disappears.
Hmm.
And at that moment, I realized it was time for me to go.
Ah. Well, you took that hint pretty good then.
Well, I had no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
I had my 20 years. All right, granted, I did not light the world on fire when I was in the military, but it was always an important part of my life.
Oh yeah, you gave up a portion of your life to serve your country. So I mean, you know.
Yeah, weird.
Hmm. Military life is definitely different than a civilian life. And at some point, you're just like, yeah. You either love it or you're just really ready to get out. I guess you were kind of both.
You know, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I ran out of the Marine Corps. Yeah, I did not like it.
I fucking hate the woods.
There you go. And I don't like the cold.
Yep.
We know. Boy, do we know.
Yes, we do. But those were my dreams that I shared with you guys. And all right, yes, there is one more. Oh,
Story time, Uncle Henry.
snakes.
Oh, you don't like
Snakes.
either?
No, but every time I had a dream about a black snake,
Yeah.
something bad happened the next day.
Hmm.
I started having these dreams when I was at an outpost over in Lebanon. And the next day we were in a firefight, or we'd be getting shelled. And I never liked snakes ever since I was a boy.
Well, snakes are a sign of wisdom. You know that.
I did not know that. I didn't have much wisdom back then at 18.
Sign of wisdom. They're also rebirth because they shed their skin and snakes aren't just bad. Snakes are good. We need snakes.
Well, I know that. But when you don't like them and they're big in your dreams, it scared me. And that's about all I have for dreams.
Well, one time, way back when I was still living in North Carolina,
What page started?
a page store. I was still married to the moron. I don't know what caused it, but they said I woke up in the middle of the night screaming. But we don't know why I was screaming. And I said, well, did you wake me up? And my ex was like, no. I was afraid you're going to hit me. I was like, well, geez, aren't you a man? Anyway.
Yeah, at least wake you up and console you like everything's okay.
Well, we're talking about my ex here.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No. Actually, sometimes it's not good to wake up a person that's having a nightmare. Because they can come out swinging.
Well, it's a risk you got to take if you don't want them freaking out all over the place, especially if they freak out so much they pee themselves or something.
No, I actually had my hands around my wife's throat one night and she tried to console me.
Dang. How'd she get out of your grip? Did she smack you or something?
I don't know. And then she slept downstairs for a long time to come.
I don't blame him. But yeah, he's like, I don't want my ex and mine. We don't talk about that. He's got his new wife now, so I have a new husband.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, it happens, and some people just don't know how to handle something like that, I guess.
So, Jeff, tell us about your most funky dream.
I already did. That was about it.
Oh, I had a dream the other night about my son.
Was it a good dream?
Well, I dreamed and I witnessed him getting down on one knee and proposing to his girlfriend.
No, when is that supposed to happen?
I don't know, but I
Oh, that's a good dream.
And I dreamed that, and she said yes. And he's like, "That's interesting." I said, "Yeah, I know."
Do you know? All right, I'm going to tell you guys something.
What, Henry?
I used to be with this girl.
No. Before Nikki?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Does Nikki know about
In the
it?
military?
No.
Out of the military?
Nikki doesn't know about it?
No.
Oh, we gonna get secret.
Yes, you guys.
Oh,
I'm sharing a secret with
talk to us.
all 10 of us.
We're 33 on YouTube now.
We are?
We have 33 subscribers on YouTube.
Good for us.
Thank you, 33.
And thank you all for listening to us.
Ramble. So anyway, tell us about this girl.
All right, she was a lovely girl.
Of course.
But I knew she was right for me when I would sleep with her.
Uh-huh.
I could sleep through the night. And I felt safe.
So what happened?
I fucked up.
Uh-oh. Well,
I broke up with her.
Well, Henry?
that didn't make much sense, but... Oh, it's a floof.
Yes,
It's the elusive floof.
I can join us.
It's like the... when her,
Anyway,
like the Cheshire Cat when your head shows up.
now, with that said, looked at the clock on the wall. It's time for us to call it another evening.
Yeah, it is, guys.
Thank you all for joining us, whoever did.
And we also embarrassed Mr. Henry.
Which is not easy to do, which is not hard to do.
Talk about women's underwear.
Men's underwear, thank you, please.
Sweet dreams, everybody, and say your prayers before you go to sleep.
Stay strange.
Keep the hag out of your house. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.